Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. Show you what we're working on today. You can see kind of from the red glow. It's not my ruddy face. We're about to dig into the hydroponic system, getting everything set back up. Gonna do the new section and continue with the old section. Probably gonna change out the liquids in here. You can see how well the hydroponic system works. Yeah, it's fantastic. And all we do is we're adding nutrients. This is organic kelp. This is not necessary, actually. It just makes everything grow so much better, and I use this in the garden as well, in my dirt garden. This is what I use: General Hydroponics GH Max Grow 10-5-14, and you just mix it up. These trays will hold 9 gallons ish of solution. You can get as technical as you want when you set up these tanks and this solution. You can use EC meters, you can check the pH and everything. I'm using a Kratky system with no pumps and no aeration. I do it simple, no-brainer method. We're going to mix it up. We're not even going to check pH. We're not even going to check the EC to make sure that the chemicals, the NPH, is in balance. We're just going to pour it together. That's it. Now, what we're going to do this time, we're doing a little bit of an experiment. We're going to do a silver reflective foil surface here, which is that one. We're going to do a white reflective surface here, and we are going to be growing cabbage and broccoli in this section. Now we are going to also a cabbage, a cabbage, a cabbage, a cabbage. We're going to do it like that. We're going to alternate. These sections are peat pots that are going to be pulled out after they have sprouted. This will do two things. This will allow us to get the full benefit of the system that we have, and it will also let us pull these out and replace them with cover plugs and give the broccoli and the cabbage time enough to grow out. Now, why do we want to do this? The first reason is my wife likes broccoli. The second reason is my wife likes sauerkraut that we ferment. So we're going to go from seed all the way to jar with our cabbage. It's going to be an interesting thing. I thought it would be interesting for the people who geek out on this. Don't worry, we'll do a lot of other hardcore prepping stuff, but this is stuff you can do on a patio. You don't have to have grow lights, but we're going to do it with grow lights. Oh, in the background you can see that is not my weed. That is my curly cress that I'm hanging up. I mentioned it in one of the previous videos. It does indeed dry pretty well and have a wasabi-like pungent taste, which is going to be fantastic. Think about adding it to stews, Chinese dishes, salsas, something like that. Anytime you want a little bit of extra kick to something, putting in a tablespoon of dried curly cress, watercress, it's going to be pretty dang good. So it's a fantastic use of it as well. I have found the ends that have the seeds and the flowers are the most pungent. The stems, not so much. So we will just be using the flowering part for that. Now, to do this, I had mentioned these are 9-gallon tanks, and we will be spacing them every other. As these come out, like I said, we'll be putting in plugs, and I'll show you what they look like. And mainly, the enemy, I'm doing this, the enemy of these hydroponic solutions, oddly enough, is sunlight. So the more sunlight you have on your solution tank that penetrates into the solution, the more chances you have for algae growth, which is not terrible, and you can add some things to destroy the algae, but we'll just be using some of this foil crushed up to block the light out. Why are we using this? Because I had extra. That's the main reason. So we'll be getting these guys set up. I have to go mix more of this stuff. GS plant food, 1 gallon makes 130 gallons. You use 1 to 2 teaspoons per gallon for hydroponic use, and this 1 gallon will make 135 gallons, and it's $35. You can get it off Amazon. This General Hydroponics, you can get it also off of Amazon, and I'm gonna say it's around 28 bucks. It does pretty good. It is moisture sensitive. If it clumps up, it is not as easy to balance it out. But again, I am not measuring anything with an EC meter, which is an electrical conductivity meter, because I just don't care. At this point, we're just goofing off with it. And gonna make some cabbage and some broccoli. And we're gonna do tomatoes and peppers. All kinds of stuff. More to come. Okay guys, now we're back. These 2 tanks are ready to be planted. This one I am just filling back up. I'm going to thin it out. We're going to see just how far these things will grow. This one I will probably clean it out and start over with that one as well. Now, a warning to those of you who are mixing this indoors. This stuff it has an odor to it. If you were on an Alaska excursion whale watching and you watched one of the majestic whales come up out and roll his fin over, and as he did it, if he farted and you had your mouth open and you got a little bit like right there, it is heinous. It is terrible. My wife, every time I mix this stuff up, she says, "You're not mixing that crap up in my kitchen, are you?" I said, "No, sweetie. That's why I mix it up in the kitchen when she's not here." It's horrible smelling, but it does really good. I spray this all around the property on all of the roses, the hydrangeas, everything that we have planted, all the stuff in the garden. It's completely organic, as well as this. So it's got a terrible smell though. Terrible. Alright, I'm gonna top these things off with fluid. The kick in the butt, one thing I will show you about a Kratky hydroponic system, because we are not using air in it. One of the sections of roots is going to become an air root, and you can see them. They've got the little hairs extending out, so whatever level that we added originally, we can never go back that high. The top roots are dry roots now that breathe air, and the bottom roots will take in the nutrients through the solution. So you always have to be aware of that. If you filled it back up to the original level, like that is, you'll kill your plants. You would, in effect, drown them. There you go. More to come, guys. Just so you guys can see, this is the curly crest that I was talking about. That is that right there. 12+ inch root system. It's fantastic. And this is one guy we're going to transplant. You'll see the nodes that have grown on the root system as well, and you can see the difference in the air roots, which are slightly darker, and then the regular water roots, or the roots that would be in the dirt. How about that? Isn't that crazy? Alright guys, more to come. Okay guys, now we're back. This is just kind of like regular maintenance. You don't have to do this very often. I'm pulling this system this tank down, and I'm getting ready to clean this, let it sit in the sunlight for a few days, and then I'm going to bring it back into production. Now, what do you do with this? I mean, is it hazardous or anything like that? Nothing of the sort. This goes on your vegetables outside. It is just a diluted nutrient bath. So this is just like the stuff that you'd spray outside, just weaker. So you pour it out, it won't hurt anything. More to come. Okay guys, now we are just about finished, and I'll show you how I've got it set up. Got everything changed around on this one. Got this one upstairs outside. I'm going to let it dry out for 2 or 3 days. Let the rock wool dry out and try to salvage what I can. I'm going to discontinue using the rock wool. I just don't like it that much. A lot of times I have my grandsons down here helping, and it can be hazardous, and when they're down here I don't use it, but I'm going to find something that is a little bit safer and gentler on for kids. But cabbage, 2, 4, 6, 8, got them planted. They are in the net pots with the rock wool. Cilantro is in number 2, 4, 5, 7, staggered. Oregano is in 10, 12, 13, and 15. These are going to be here forever. These will be here short term. I'll pull these out after about 3 or 4 weeks. Put in something else. By that time, these guys will have grown enough. I'll cap these off, and we'll have plenty of space. Likewise, I have done broccoli the same way in the rock wool. And you can see it's wet. I might spray it a little bit just to make sure. Parsley is in 2, 4, 5, 7. Basil is in 10, 12, 13, 15. I use those a lot when we do salads. So those will support this system. I may break down and get one more tray, so as I cycle through it I don't have to wait. I'll just have one always in cleaning and in backup. And I have 4 more lights that I can put down here just to do seed starting. Now, to seed starting, let's talk about that for just a second. And I don't have to have these full spectrum grow bulbs just to start seeds. All I have to do is have a good white light, which that would work, good hot white light. I've had this open working inside it. I'm in my basement. It's normally, you know, low 70s. Right here in this area it's around 80 degrees. Perfect for seed starting. And I always keep this closed up because the kids come down here as well as the pets, and I just don't want people to be exposed to that light. You know, you just don't really need to be exposed to it. And actually I should probably wear some good UV glasses when I do it. I've got some upstairs. I just didn't bring them down for this. That's it in a nutshell. Every 6 weeks, as you change over your liquid, about 6 weeks is what it takes to exhaust or to deplete it, where it's just time to change it instead of adding to it. And again, you can use the old liquid as a good weak fertilizer. Splash it on the leaves, won't hurt. You can put it for leaf crops, root crops, doesn't hurt at all. And actually I poured a lot of it on my cucumbers and on my potatoes, and we will see how all this stuff ends up. The nice thing about this system, after doing the routine maintenance, everything's set up on timer, I don't touch it other than to harvest for probably 2 weeks. And then I'll adjust and tweak and come down and play with it every 2 weeks, except for when I am harvesting. That's it. That's all the maintenance there is. Yes, it uses a little bit of electricity. Minor amount. You know, if you're concerned about the electrical consumption, turn your television off. But wait, you wouldn't be able to watch me. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap everything up. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. Consider joining us on Patreon, and we'll show you how to grow all kinds of stuff. Take care of you people.